the less you do, the less you can do. So, if you look at the way a child moves, there's no restriction. The way we move gradually becomes more and more restricted over time. And so you have to find out ways to move that keep your ability to move. And so whether it's dance, whether it's different types of martial arts, etc., all those things are great for your muscles, but also stimulate your central nervous system, your brain, etc.
So how long have you been with Immunitech? What is your role there?
Well, I was essentially an owner of the Roberts Evergreen with Chuck Roberts. And when we merged with Immunitech, I was vice president of research and development. So I worked directly with Dr. Bunos from 1996 on. And when we sold the company, we still had a lot of scientific work that I had started. And so, I said to Maurizio, look, I've got to stay on to be able to finish this stuff. And so I stayed on, and, things like the autism patent, which you saw.
Yes.
We have 2 other patents in process. There's a number of experimental studies as well as a very important clinical study on the brain that is now completed. So I'm overseeing those things and doing things like this, talking to your gang.
What is the difference between our regular, platinum, and the sport? Some people pose that question. Can you go into a little bit more detail of what's the difference between these three?
I would focus on the ingredients, and the Immunical, as you know, was developed over a long period of time. Dr. Bunos, many years ago by accident, found that this particular whey protein exhibited a property that he didn't fully understand why it was doing what it was doing. He was very fortunate that he worked in an environment where Dr. Patricia Kongshaven was there, as well as other scientists that I've actually worked with now, that helped him and Dr. Kongshaven understand why Immunical was exerting this very important effect on the immune response. And he used a number of models. So Immunical, from the lab where it was originally produced, and then when it became commercially produced, Dr. Bunos traveled all over the United States to try and find a dairy that met his specifications. Over the years, we were able to collaborate with the scientists on very specific specifications for Immunical. The focus was this glutathione enhancing capacity. This is a very, very delicate property. Commercial whey proteins exhibit vastly different capacities to essentially influence this. The whole focus of Immunitech over the years was to refine this particular process. So Immunical is essentially an iteration of that original work, and over a 40-year period, it still stands the test of time. Now, when Dr. Bunos retired, we were very fortunate to get Dr. Wolf Droog, who, as he explained to me, he said, John, I had offers from pharmaceutical companies sitting on my desk from all over the world, but I came to work at Immunitech because I wanted to move to Canada, but also because Immunical is something that I was very interested in.